Trebons, so we're with Wild Honey's litter. She had 10 on Friday and she started around about 8 o'clock in the morning and was finished at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Very smooth, very calm, nice delivery overall, and she's doing very well. It's a big litter, 10 puppies. So at some point I think she's going to start struggling with the milk production and everything else. As the puppies get bigger, they will demand more off the mother, and the mother will have to produce more milk, etc, etc. So you've got to look after that. And the first thing is, being a big litter is going to be a competitive litter. The puppies, as they get bigger, are going to start demanding more, and they're going to push each other to get to the mother's tit. This produces competition between the puppies. And that will manifest itself later on when the puppies hit 4 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. With puppies, some are more active and more, excitable than other puppies. Than others. You'll end up with a split litter, a bunch that are more excitable because they're getting to the mother's tit, they're fighting to get to the mother's tit first. You're going to get another bunch that are sort of in the middle, and then you get another bunch that are getting pushed out all the time. And those puppies can then tend to be hyperactive because they're so desperate to get into the mother's tit, etc. So what we need to do is ensure that we have even competition. And at the moment the handling is going to be very, very gentle, because the problem with handling is if you handle puppies, when you start handling them, you're doing it in general. All the handling techniques were invented by the working kennels, and the idea was to produce competitive puppies. You put pressure on the puppy goes back down, and the first thing it does is try and get back to the mother's tit. There we go, we're going bearing in there. And that produces competition. So our initial handling will produce more competition, but we're doing it very, very gentle. We're not going to put any pressure on. I just want them used to move, so that when it comes to the feeding, I can manipulate the puppies, get which puppies I want to the mother's tit, rather than a free-for-all and only the strongest get there, because that's what we're in, the strongest survival of the fittest, and that's what it is for these puppies. It's a matter of life and death to eat, as far as they're concerned. So it's about getting an even competition amongst the puppies, especially in these early stages, and getting them used to my hand, used to being manipulated, without putting pressure on the puppy and causing more competition. Just so they calm down, that when I move them around, they're not desperate to get to the mother's tit and pushing the other puppies out of the way. Oh yeah. So she's doing very, very well, the mother at the moment, and she's handling this very, very well. She's producing enough milk, but as I say, as they get bigger, there will be more demands on the mother, and that's where the competition will start in another couple of days. And that's where we need to get into handling, so that we can manipulate the puppies without putting pressure on the puppies. Because the more pressure we put on, the more competitive the litter, and 10 puppies is going to be competitive enough. So that's what we're aiming for at the moment, but things are going very, very well. At some point later on I might have to supplement the feeding, but at the moment no. It's just to make sure they're all even in weight, and at the moment there's 20 grams difference in weight between them. They're all 450 up to 480, 490 grams. So they're doing well on the weight. 2 days of age, so I'm happy with that. There's not a huge difference in weight between them. They're very uniform, which is what we'd expect. We want a uniform litter. You often hear of that term, a pick of a litter. We've got to the stage now where we have litters to pick from. There's not going to be much difference between them. And when it comes to conformity, we're there, we know with the parents, so we're going to be conforming as within the standards, so they're going to be competitive in that respect. And when it comes to temperament, the handling we're doing is going to give us a nice even base for later on. At 3 weeks, you'll start to see that when all the puppies are online, that base with the temperament, etc., etc. We'll have a nice even base to work with rather than split litter. That's why we start the handling so early, and your handling does vary depending on the size of the litter. It's not all litters are the same size, so therefore you need to handle, and you need to keep an eye out and see which puppies are struggling, so you get in there and make sure they get what they need. Oh, I made it one. So, but they're nice and calm in the hand. So anyway.